most people ask themselves, what is water drilling? Water drilling is a systematic method or process of acquiring water from underground. You start with all, it is divided into various stages. That is hydrological survey, number 1. Number 2 is the drilling. Number 3, it is pump installations. Number 4 is water tower and tanks installation. So we would like to take in brief, what is hydrological survey? Hydrological survey, it's a process of acquiring water from underground through machineries, advanced machineries. And these machineries can be the thermometer or the PQWT. Those are the machines that most people, most experts use to detect water from underground. Here is an example of a site where we use the PQWT machines through our expert hydrogeologists. These are a process where it's done so that we get the water point, and also it shows us the direction on how the drilling will be done. From the detecting, from the survey, then you make a documentation. There's a document that we make to submit to the government for the permit for bore to get drilled. It depends with which kind of the country you are drilling in. Different countries have got different laws and regulations to regulate and how they drill water. In Kenya, you must do the survey, then you make the documentation, that is the environment documentation and the hydrological document, and you submit to the government for the permit to be processed. So that is the procedure. After the permit, you now do the drilling. In drilling, first of all, you do the mobilization of the machineries. You can see this is the site. You see this is the site, these are the machineries. The other lorry is the support. Support means it has carried the rods for the drilling, the casings, the tools, and it's also a beddings. There's beddings, utensils for our workers here. This is the rig. The rig is mounted on the lorry, which drills. So this is the mobilization team to come here. After the mobilization of machineries to the site, you do what's known as the borehole setting. Borehole setting is where we point, it is where the hydrologist had surveyed. So this is the point. That is the borehole setting. After borehole setting, now we start with the drilling. So we have the hammer. This is the starter. So during the drilling, that's called flushing of the soil, because when you drill this, when you drill, you'll be encountering different layers of soil with the different colors, texture, and so on. So you do the soil sampling. That is, when you drill, you arrange the soil samples according to the way you are drilling. From there, we also have got borehole flushing and cleaning. Remember, there are soil particles in the borehole, so they need to be cleaned out. They need to be flushed out. So during the drilling, we have got soil sampling, we have got the borehole cleaning and flushing, and also the casing. What is the casing? Casing is protecting that borehole, not the soil not to collapse in. We have got different types of the casing. We have got surface casing and internal casing. This depends with the diameter of those casings. It can be metallic or plastic. We use metallic when the borehole is more than 100 meters. Because of the pressure, the deeper you go, the higher the pressure. So you use the metallic casing, that is steel casing. But if the borehole is around 80 meters or less than 80 meters, then you can use the plastic. There are some people who ask about the steel casing. If it interferes with the amount of a reaction between the steel and water cannot affect that borehole, the quality of that water. So once the borehole has been drilled, we do development. You can see it is somehow swampy. So we shall do development so that this one doesn't affect the borehole. I think that's about the borehole. Once the borehole has been drilled, we know you can at least know the depth of water, the depth of the borehole. That depth and the quantity of water, it gives us which kind of the pump. So from here is when we shall know what exactly the kind of the pump that can be fitted here. So in that brief, I think for those who don't understand, we have explained about water drilling. And if this information is valuable to you, If this information is important to you, please, I would like you to subscribe, or also you can share, and also you can also comment. As a company, we are appealing all Kenyans, all people to invest with our company, because our company, there is a program of payment plan. It's not a must for you to have the whole money. You can make your payment plan so that we can do work for you. Number one. Number two, we are available across the country, Kenya, and also other parts of Africa, the way I've explained. Number three, we have well-equipped personnel and experienced, skilled people to undertake any particular kind of the project. We also have the machineries, and we partner with the established entities to work efficiently. We also have the financial capacity whereby we can also finance where you cannot reach, so that you can make a payment plan, you can pay within a period that we have agreed. So we welcome all people who are willing to do house construction and water drilling services, so that they can improve their livelihood.
What makes you satisfied that you have gotten enough water?
Repeat your question.
To know you have gotten the water you expected.
Yes.
How do you know?
During the drilling, survey may not give you the 100% if there's water or not. But during the drilling, the reaction of this rig, the way it moves, first of all, you record where have you heated the first layer of water. If maybe you are planning to drill 140 meters, and during that drill, maybe you strike first aquifer at 40 meters. So from there now, you start counting how many aquifers that you go down. The reaction of this rig and the way it behaves, and the way you flash it, you'll just start getting into your mind that the amount of water, roughly, whether it's sustainable or not. I think I've answered.
Yeah. You talked about aquifers.
Yes.
It's good to explain what are aquifers.
An aquifer, that is A-Q-I-F-E-R as the spelling. An aquifer, it's a professional term used by the professionals like hydrologists to explain the source of water underground, where the water comes from, the storage, where the water stays. So an aquifer, it's a permeable rock that holds water. It's where water passes through, or it's where also the water content also stays in. And that aquifer is a type of soil. It's a layer of soil or rock that holds water, and it's permeable, where it's porous and permeable, where water comes from. Now, to explain further, in terms of soils, we have got shell soil, clay soil. Also, we have got moram and rocky soil. These soils are different. Now, let us take example of moram and rocky soil. Moram and rocky soil is porous and more permeable, meaning that there is a high chances of getting water in moram soil than in clay soil. Clay soil is somehow it's not so much permeable, and also it's not so much porous. And you find that when you are drilling in clay soils, the driller must be careful, because exactly it is too loose. This must be very careful. So in short, my friend, aquifer is a specific permeable rock where the water passes through, or where it stores the water content. Yes.
After drilling water, by physical view of the water,
yes,
how can you know whether it's salty or fresh water?
Where after drilling this water, to know whether the water is either salty or it's fresh, first of all, from the eyes, you can see if there is a particle that is too whitish. The particle that is too whitish, maybe that's one of indication. Number two, during the drilling, that flashing, you can take a gallon there for water to collect in, then you put it aside to decant. After decanting, then you can take time. You can just test. You can by testing. You are not recommended to drink, but just testing to feel the saltiness. But now, if you want to get the accuracy of saltiness in terms of drilling what you have drilled, then after the drilling, you are recommended to take the sample of water to the government laboratory for the analysis, so that you will see if this water is salty and at what level of saltiness, and other minerals that are within water. Yes.
The information that you have given, you talked about casing installations.
Yes.
You talked about the plain casings and the screen casings.
Yes.
So how do you alternate? Or which mechanism do you use?
What is a casing? What is to case? To case is to protect. That's one of the definition. To case is to prevent. So in terms of drilling, casing is a special material, piped material, where you insert in a borehole to protect the walls of the borehole not to collapse, especially when you are drilling loose soils. Not all boreholes are cased, but you case where necessary. But there are those clients who insist to case fully. It depends also with the budget, because casing is also expensive. Now, how do you alternate? There are two main different types of the casing. That is the plastic one, or the PVC one, or the steel one. Steel casing, that is the metallic. In this casing, also there are different diameters, depending on which kind of hammer. A hammer is that lower part where the one is drilling. It's of 6 inches, 4 inches, whichever. So these casings are of different diameters. So when you start with the first one, you can start with 10 inches or 8 inches. You start with that. Then as you go deeper, you change the hammer. Now it goes with 6 or with 8, with 8.5. It depends. Now, the perforated casing or screen casing is that casing that has got it has been perforated. It has the dots. It has been screened. It is permeable. Water can pass through. It can sieve. That is a perforated or screen case. A plain case is the one that doesn't have, it's just plain from the factory. It doesn't have the water cannot pass through. I think those are different between the screen cases and plain cases. A plain case is the one that doesn't have those. It cannot make water to pass through. Screen cases or perforated cases is the one that can make water to pass through. It can sieve. So how do you alternate? When you are drilling, I've said you record the type of the soil that you are going, the way you are drilling, you record the layer and layer of the soil as you record. That is soil sampling. Also, you record where have you stricken or where have you found the first aquifer. At what point have you stricken the first water as you go deeper. Once you are satisfied with what you are drilling, then you do the casing. How do you do alternative of the casing? You do casing, you interchange based on the way you have been drilling and getting the aquifer. But mostly we start with the plain casing, the two, first of all, to be down. Then you come with the screen casing, most cases. But the way you have been drilling, it will guide you in which way you will be putting the casing, interchanging the screen casing and the plain casing. But in most cases, those who are drilling, they first of all, when they do the casing, they start with the plain casing first of all. They can install either 1 or 2 or 3 casing. Then they come with the screen casing. Then on up at the top, then they install the plain casing. After the casing they have done, they reinforce that casing with gravels. Now, what's a gravel? A gravel is a special sand, is a special soil, that's sand from rivers, that when you insert on the external of the casings, it sieve in a chunga maji, it sieve, it makes water to be clean. First of all, that's the work of those gravels. Number 2, it also reinforces those casing not to shake, not to be loose. So it reinforces. I think I've answered?
Yes.
Yes.
I've answered.
Yes.
When you are inserting this kind of casings,
yes,
I understand this is plastic.
Yes.
It's a bit weak.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges you may face?
Yes.
When inserting this in a bowl? Good.
First of all, I've said this is a casing. This is an example of a casing. What's a casing? A casing is just a pipe that you insert into a borehole to protect the walls of the soil not to collapse. Okay. Now, the challenge of inserting a plastic casing. Okay, this is an example of a steel casing. The difference is that the diameter, but mostly we use this one as a surface casing. Surface means up. So this are casing. These are casing. Where they are using the change, depends with the type of with the depth of the borehole, and also the type of the soil and which area. Mostly this one is used on upper part of the borehole. So when you use this casing, plastic casing or PVC casing, mostly these casings are weak. First of all, they are weak. So you find that the crushing is easy because it has a hook here. The difference between when installing the plastic casing and steel casing, the difference is this. For the steel casing, you do welding, fabrication. You do joinery by fabricating. You do the welding. But with the plastic casing, you screw. You screw. So when this hammer, this machine, hold this casing up, then it brings this one to screw with the other one. You find that if you are not careful, it may crash. That's one. That's the disadvantage one. Another thing is that when you move this casing down there, you find that you must be very careful, whereby in case it hits the rock there, you cannot move. This one you can force it. You can force to enter, but you cannot force. It should be, this one is easy. In short, this one is easy to crack than the steel casing. Two, the deeper you go, the higher the pressure. So you find that at times, deep boreholes, the plastic casing cannot work on deep boreholes. That is the borehole of more than 80 meters, 100 meters. The plastic casing may not work. I think I've answered?
Yes.
Yes.
In the event it crashes,
Yes.
what do you do before completely to insert?
No, in event it crashes,
Yes.
because when it cracks, it means that this place it is weak already.
It's broken in short.
So if you need to replace, because if this one cracks, it means that you cannot hold the stability of the borehole. So it means you replace it with another one, then you install with the due diligence, so that it should not crack.
Okay.
So the main problem or the main disadvantage with this kind of PVC casing is because it is easy to crack. You cannot replace it's the only thing you can replace it. But with this one, you can weld and do fabricating about it because these are steel. So the main disadvantage of the PVC casing, yes, it is cheaper in prices compared to the steel one, but the problem with the PVC casing is that this one is weak. The PVC casing is too much weak in terms of material making, and it is weak and it is easy to crack when you are doing the installation. It cannot withstand the compact of even the soil. It's not easy. So it is weak in terms of manufacturing.
So this casing, you
Yes.
said that is used in a shallow boreholes.
Yes.
So if I might ask, if I'm digging a bore and I have my bore is less meters, let's say less than 100,
Yes.
and I want to use the steel casing
Yes.
rather than this one.
Yes.
So what would you advise?
No, okay. One, we use casing. First of all, what determines to use the casing? Not all boreholes must be cased. I'm saying it that way. It goes with the soil formation. If we are drilling at point A, and point A, the soil is too much loose, then you must put the casing to prevent walls of the soil not collapse. Okay? If you are drilling point B, and point B is somehow more rocky and the soil is stable, then you only do the surface casing. Mostly the professionals, they prefer it as an open borehole. Open borehole means, open borehole in the language of the drilling industry, it means this way. You drill, then you just do the casing up. It's called open borehole. It's not open that now you have left it open, no. It is casing but not fully casing.
Yes.
Another term for open borehole is not fully cased. But full borehole, complete borehole means fully cased from up to down, right? So to use a casing, one factor is the soil formation. Okay. Two, the depth. Mostly I've said when it comes to the soil formations, clay soils, loose soils, we use steel casing. I get it.
Yes.
Two, a borehole that is more than 80 meters, 100 meters, you find that it's good to use the steel casing. But you can also use the plastic casing. But I prefer plastic casing to boreholes of shallow boreholes, that is 60 meters,
Less than 100 in short.
less than 100 meters or less than 80 meters. So the plastic casing can do. Thank you.